Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Teng'a here. Well, preemptive warning, this is going to be a little bit of a psychological video, as in my analysis of a psychological issue. I am fully aware that psychiatrists and psychologists, and even those suffering the soon-to-be mentioned condition, may not like my oversimplification of it, but I'm only oversimplifying it because it makes it relatable to those who don't quite understand it. So let's begin on. The condition I am referring to is Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, also known as simply OCD. I've come to realize something after having had one of my own family members afflicted with the disease, that it very much becomes like an abusive spouse, parent, or any other kind of person that beats the person into believing absolutely what it says. Even if it's irrational, it still beats that irrationality into such a point that the person accepts that. Like, take for and I don't think it actually is a condition in the way that people understand it. What I'm starting to think is, and this is where I could be wrong, is that the condition starts as a person actually suffering from a debilitating fear of chaos, not actually having a fear of imperfection. That somewhere in their mind, during the time it takes for OCD to set in, as you might say, they begin listening in on to their own darker corners of their mind where where they hear themselves thinking about things and such that they don't like those being clean for clean freaks, get so obsessive about making sure that everything is in their A, B, C, D position that it's not the cleanliness itself that's the issue. It's the fact that they are afraid of even one germ hitting it. Like, for example, I was watching Untold Stories, the ER recently. All right, fact is, last night, as of the date of this recording. And I noticed that one of the patients was OCD, and this patient had a collapsed lung. The doctor was clearly telling him, we need to pop a hole in your ribs, in your chest, stick a tube in to let the air out, let the air and blood out so the lung can reinflate. And there is a small chance of infection. Now, where the OCD did was it clearly heard everything, but sent to that repressed, that abused section of the conscience. Need to put hole in, may infect. And you notice the big gap in between where my sets of hands were? Hole, infection. That much room in between, containing the phrase, to save your life. It's almost, to me, that OCD is kind of and here's where the oversimplification comes down, and the potential hate stream might occur. It's almost like they create their own bizarro joker in their brain that prefers order, even if that order is irrational to even themselves, as opposed to indulging in their own fear, letting their own fear run wild. Which, by the way, I'm not saying it's a bad thing having some kind of irrational warning sign every now. I mean, you go across a bridge and something tells you not to go down the bridge, you know you might, and that bridge doesn't look quite safe. But I digress. This version, this bizarro Joker in them, absolutely wants order and it beats you into being just like him or her or whatever. Now, I know that that's oversimplified. That's the truth. Now, psychologists and psychiatrists and anyone else who's in the mental health industry, this is your time to let me know your thoughts down below. Yeah. And before I go into a tangent and get off topic here, I'm going to leave this video now. Anyone else here who's got OCD and who watches this? Am I striking a chord? Am I striking a chord with you? Let me know. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on the matter. And if you don't want, and go ahead and look. If I remember right, I'll put my Twitter down below. You can tweet me there to tell me what your thoughts are. With that, I'm out.